Hey guys, I am Zach, and this is my October TBR. So, as with the last few months, I will be continuing my way through A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I'm about this far, and hopefully I can get halfway. That's kind of my goal for this month, is to get halfway through the book. So, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I don't know. As for the books that I'll be actively reading and reviewing, I have Sparked by Helena Eklund and Milena Wachtros. I've already read this book. I'm not going to tell you my thoughts about that because that'll wait until the October TBR, or you can read my review because it's up on my blog already. But this is a YA paranormal book that may or may not be the first in a series. Honestly, I don't know. But it takes place in a small Oregon town, and a girl named Laurel wakes up one morning and her sister is gone. And she is a bit worried, but her sister sometimes disappears. But then she starts having these dreams that seem to point to her sister possibly being kidnapped. And, well, nobody believes her that her sister has been kidnapped, except for the new boy in school, Jasper Blake. And then she learns about this, like, old prophecy, and that the two people that would most likely be able to help her get her sister back are the school's resident mean girls who have made her life a living hell since elementary school. Then I am currently reading Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan. This is the third and final Magnus Chasing the Gods of Asgard book, his Norse mythology trilogy, and so far I'm about a quarter of the way through or so, and I am loving it. The cover is spectacular as well, and I kind of don't want it to end. But I will probably get through at least most of this today after I'm done editing and uploading this video. Then I am on the blog tour for Otherworld by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller, and I haven't received this book yet, and my review is supposed to go up on the 10th, so I hope I get it in the next couple of days because I'm a little afraid that I'm not going to get it. But if I don't get it by Saturday, I'm going to let the blog tour people know and switch in another book to review, which I don't know what that'll be, but yeah. So this is the first book in a new sci-fi series about a virtual reality that may be a game, but is probably more the next frontier of human inhabitants. I think I could be completely wrong, but that's sort of the feel I got from the synopsis, and honestly, the synopsis didn't really give much more than that. But it sounds really interesting, and I've read Nightmares, which is Jason Segel's and Kirsten Miller's the first book in their middle grade series, and I really enjoyed that, so hopefully I will enjoy this as well. Next, I want to read 3 Dark Crowns and 1 Dark Throne by Kendra Blake. These are the first 2 books in what I believe is just called the 3 Dark Crowns series, which was originally supposed to be a duology, but is now a 4-book series. This takes place in a fantasy kingdom where every generation the queen gives birth to triplet girls, and each girl is bestowed with a gift. Either they're an elementalist, a poisoner, or a naturalist, and they're like raised separately, and when they come of age they have to fight to the death to see who will be the next queen. It sounds dark, it sounds bloody, and honestly I hope I don't root for the one that's one of the ones that's not going to be queen, because that will break me, I'm pretty sure. But I have heard nothing but amazing things about these 2 books. I've heard that the second book is even better than the first, so hopefully I will enjoy it. Then I am on the blog tour for The Breathless by Tara Godien, and this is a YA paranormal thriller, I believe, about a girl whose sister dies and her sister's boyfriend takes off that night and hasn't been seen since. A year after her sister's death, her boyfriend shows up at her family's door, but the entire last year of his life has been erased. The last thing he remembers, I believe, May is the main character. May's sister was still alive. So that sounds really interesting. Kind of creepy. Honestly, the cover just looks super creepy, and I'm just hoping for a really, really great, creepy YA thriller, or just horror. I mean, anything spooky and scary in October. Then I want to reread In the Shadow of the Dragon King by J. Keller Ford, which is the first book in a fantasy series called The Chronicles of Fall Hollow. And this follows two boys, one from Fall Hollow, the fantasy world, and one from our world. The boy from our world gets transported to Fall Hollow, and he and the squire from Fall Hollow meet up and kind of butt heads, but they need to go on a journey together to overthrow the wicked Dragon King. And I read this a few years ago, I think, and I quite enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars, maybe 3.5, but I was really excited to see how the series would continue, and finally it is continuing with Rage of the Dragon King, which I also plan on reading this month. Then, to get back into the spooky and the horror, I have The Merciless 2 by Danielle Vega. Hopefully the shininess of the book isn't shining straight into the camera. And this continues the story from the first Merciless book, which is about a girl named Sofia Flores who gets sort of coerced into participating in this exorcism. But it's not your typical sprinkle holy water, say a few prayers exorcism. There's some serious gore and violence to this exorcism, and the first book was fantastic. I am so excited to see how this second book goes down. Then I'm on yet another blog tour, this one an audiobook blog tour through Audiobookworms Promotions, I believe is what it's called. And that is for Air and Ash, the first book in the Tides series by Alex Liddell. This is about a seafaring princess who sort of fails this big test, and so she is now landlocked and looking at a political marriage that she does not want. So what's any good YA fantasy princess to do? She dresses as a common seafarer, finds the first ship she can, and goes adventuring. But the crew isn't exactly up to snuff, and she may have to save her crew from some deadly things. I also think she has some magic, so that sounds really interesting. But yeah, this book sounds pretty awesome. I love pirates and seafaring stuff, and so mixing that with a fantasy novel just sounds awesome, and I can't wait to listen to this book. Then, to get back into the spooky and the horror, I have The Bone Witch by Rin Chipeko. This is, I believe, a standalone fantasy novel, though I could be mistaken, about a young girl with necromantic abilities. And all I really know about it is the tagline, which says, "Let me be clear, I never intended to raise my brother from the dead." This sounds kind of creepy, kind of spooky. Maybe we'll go with the nice fall, creepy, October-y atmosphere, hopefully. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It is a bit bigger than some of the other books on this TBR, but hopefully I'll be far enough ahead that I can read this in time. And then author Paula Stokes is sending me a paperback copy of Vicarious, which is the first book in her YA sci-fi duology. I believe the second book is already out. And I meant to read this when it first came out a long time ago. but never got around to it. And it has something to do with like kind of going into people's memories and feeling what they feel, and it just, there's something about it that kind of spoke to the October kind of spooky atmosphere I'm going for with some of these books. And so I jumped at the chance to get a chance to review this, so that should be coming within the next week, and I can't wait. I've been wanting to read this book for a while, so I finally found a good excuse for it, so yay. And finally, for books that I will be reviewing this month, I have Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. This is the first book in, I believe, a companion novel series. This first book follows a girl named Alice who is colorless, but she lives in a world of vibrant color. One day her father goes missing or gets kidnapped or something, and she needs to go find him. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. I've heard it's beautifully written, just a gorgeous book to behold, and I can't wait to dig in. There's something about the colors and the art style of the cover and everything that just says fall to me, so I'm really excited about this. And the second book comes out next month, so I will be reading it just in time. And then to keep the spooky going between some books, I will be reading stories from Washington Irving that I got in this Rock Paper Books edition in my August Owl Crate, and I kind of can't wait. I've never actually read Sleepy Hollow, like beginning to end, so hopefully I will enjoy it. I don't know. And there are some other Washington Irving stories in here as well, but oh, this cover is beautiful, and I can't wait to read some spooky stories. Also, in between books, I will be reading 5 chapters at a time of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I said in my early fall book haul, which I will link somewhere, that I was going to wait until I got 250 subscribers to do a giveaway for this book. That's not going to happen. I will actually be doing a giveaway for this book in the first week of November if I get this done in October, which I am planning on doing. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited about this giveaway. It will be for this arc. It will be international, all that good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And finally, if my TBR wasn't ambitious enough, and honestly I don't think I'm going to actually get around to this book this month, but if I'm ahead in my reviews by a good chunk, I will then read The Traitor Prince by C.J. Redwine. This is the 3rd book in her Ravenspire companion novel series, which does a fantasy retelling of various fairy tales. The first 2 are Snow White and Rumpelstiltskin. This 3rd one is going to be a bit like The Prince and the Pauper, but it's really based off of this Arabian fairy tale called The False Prince. And I can't wait. I love these books, but I do have some time because it's not coming out until February, so it's really just if I get a lot of these books done ahead of time. Anyway, that is it for my October TBR. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please like this video if you liked it. Comment what books you're excited to read in October. Subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Have an amazing day, and as always, happy reading. Bye. Okay, so a little PS on this video. You may notice that I'm doing some bookshelf rearranging. I'm not planning on filming the rearranging, just because that takes far more work and effort than I feel comfortable doing well. But if you would like to see a bookshelf tour after I'm all done, please leave a comment down below letting me know. So yeah, again, great day, happy reading, bye.